So we said we shall be having to do some corrections. We are going to go through this question paper to get certificate of education. This is paper 2. Just as I said before, that paper 2 and paper 3 are almost the same. So please, those who are registered for paper 2, those who are registered for paper 3, please feel at home. We are studying almost the same thing. The only difference is in the code. Instructions are taken that we have a folder as a support files. Each candidate is provided with a new compact disk connected to his or her computer. Each candidate is provided with blank printing paper as he attempts any 3 questions in this paper. Use of self-help wizard and templates are not allowed. So those are the instructions. Now you as a candidate, just a few briefs from what we said above there. Look at this is question 1, which is word processing. What you do, look at, oh no. Look at the questions here. We are told that key in this text here. By saying key in, it means type it. You have 2 marks there. Read these questions here. Copy this work, paste it below the original text. Draw a line to separate. After the line, insert a heading, poultry farming, in uppercase, font size 16 points with a green highlight. In numbered section, add an indent of 1 centimeter separating the number and the text following. Convert the copied work into 2 columns. Insert a picture saved as chicken between the 2 columns. Now you read it here. If you determine yourself that on this, there are some skills that I don't know. I don't know how to convert to 2 columns. I don't know how to insert a picture, and I don't know how to add a citation. You know that these 3, you don't know. These are 2 plus 4, that is 6, plus 3, that is 9. You realize that out of 20, you have only 11 marks. Come to the next one. Load the file saved as plastic. You know how to load. You put these commas. You have these 3 marks. Determine the values for the gross sales. You know, you realize that you can do this and this and this. Then you recall later that you cannot draw a pie chart. And these are only 4 marks that you cannot do. So those are 16 marks that you can do. In comparison to question 1, where you have only 11 marks, you come to presentation that the electoral committee of Quarter Seed School intends to roll out that vote education to new students, and you're contacted to create a 5-slide presentation served as elections. The presentation will include these ideas. You know how to put all these ones. So this is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. The instructions are saying add your name and subtitle, that is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 15, 16. I want to think that you also have 16, if not 18 marks. Now you come to publication, you realize that you can do 2, 4, 6, 8. Here you have only 8 marks that you feel you can do. Database, you read through all. So my point here is, go for the question that has more marks first. In our sampling, Sorry, I had gone off again. My network is a little poor here, but I believe we shall maneuver and we shall go on. Let me share my screen again so that we can continue with this. We said,
hi, Simon Sengatetti is calling you.
We are supposed to launch and run.
Hi, Simon Sengatetti is calling you.
We are supposed to run a file here and save it as poetry. In my folder here, I created a folder. Please make sure that before you start on your desktop here, you have created your file. Be in the car. Godfrey. This is your folder. So we are asked to create a new document. I have my document here, my file. I have already typed this. The file is saved as poetry. And this is the content that we are asked to type. Please, when you're asked to type, don't type the questions also. Only look out for that extract of what you're supposed to be typing. Let me copy this file and put it in my folder. We shall see the issue of working with support files also. Let me paste it in my folder here. I have already typed and saved my work. So the question here asks me that after typing, these are already 2 marks and I have already got them because I have even this one. The files here, I am asked that copy this work and paste it below the original text. Draw a line to separate the original text and the duplicated text. Copying the work, commonly we have known the copying to a new page. Don't cram things. So we are supposed to highlight this. I think we all know the shortcut for copying. There are many ways of copying. You would right-click this and the copy will come there. For me, I would come up here in the home tab, copy is there. I would also use a Ctrl+C shortcut on the keyboard. Then after that, below here, there is nothing. Press enter and paste. For pasting still you may right click and select paste. That option, you may come here and click paste. I may also use the Ctrl+V shortcut to paste. That is one. We are told to draw a line that separates this from this one. There are many ways of drawing that line because after all, the line has no other specifications attached. Draw a line to separate the original and the duplicated text. You would come to shapes, insert, look for shapes, look for that line, draw. But to draw a straight line, please, as you're drawing, hold the shift button on your keyboard. The line will come straight. So my line is already there. There are some candidates who are good at formatting things. According to the setting of this question here, there is apart from drawing the line, there is nothing else that you are asked to do. dear candidate, don't waste time in coming here and you want to change the color. You come here, you want to change the weight. It is okay, you can change them, but you'll get the same mark as this candidate who had just this plain line. Realize that you have a lot of time. That is, I'm saying that one for the sake of time management for your exam. And after the line, insert a heading, poultry farming. It should be in uppercase, font size 16 with a green highlight. We said poultry farming. Oh. Poultry farming, we are told it should be font size. You highlight it. It should be font size 16 in capital letters. If you happen to type it in small letters, you can use this icon here for change case. You click there and select uppercase. If you are told to use the lowercase and you type uppercase, you could use any of these change case styles to put it to give it a case that you wish. Then highlight it with green. Now there are normally issues with colors here. When we select highlight, someone may come to a font color. When I select font color green, that is what will happen. But highlight is this one. When you point there, it will show you highlight color. So you select that one and select a green color, either that one or this one. Any of these two colors may be correct for you. Then we are told that in the numbered section, add an indent of 1 centimeter separating the number and the text following. In the numbered section, it is not specific, either here or up there. Indenting, the indenting that we know, we are supposed to push a text beyond a certain space beyond this margin. Now we are told to separate something to make sure that there is a separation between these numbers and the text. How shall we do this? We shall right click there, then come here. Here, we are told it should be 1 centimeter. 1 centimeter between this and this one. This one members will forgive me, my network is quite poor. Someone is telling me here that I may have to repeat the whole of what? Anyway, let's do this. Anyways, I know I lost network somewhere. Somewhere here before. Let's begin from putting. I know we typed the title together. We changed the font size together. We gave it 16 as instructed. And we said these colors here differ. We are told to highlight, and there is also a font color. But there is also a fill color here, which is shading. You see the difference. This one now will even fill the whole thing. But the examiner was very specific. He wanted us to put a highlight color, which highlights those lines there. And we said we give it green. Now the next question was asking us to put a border, to indent, put an indent in the numbered section, add an indent of 1 centimeter, separating the number and the text following. So there we said that we shall right-click this one. And I said, for effective vision, reduce this number position to 0, give the text indent 1 centimeter, and okay. So we shall have that. But maybe I would also talk about this one here. Normally, these question papers give us units. And it is always worth noting that this one now is talking about units in centimeters. The units here are in centimeters. I was just lucky enough that my computer here, I think I last used it working in centimeters, this Office application. But there are cases when you'll find those units in inches. So how shall we go to correct and change those things? Come to File. I want to demonstrate how do you change the units, just in case you find them not what you want. Come to File, select the options. Now in options, there is something called advanced. Look for advanced. And we shall look for a cluster here called display. Here there is the display. And we shall look for this option that says show measurement in units of is giving us here. Let me first take it to inches maybe and click OK. I have switched something here. Let me hope I'll not go off again. Sorry for this interruption. Okay, I think everyone can see my screen. We ended at switching and changing the units. Convert the copied work into 2 columns. Insert a pie chart, a picture saved as chicken between the 2 columns. Copied work, this one here, the second part, we shall highlight it. Come to layout here. Now, some of these things will change based on the version of Office you have. Those of you who have Office 2010 will come to a tab called Insert. 2013, 16, 19, and above will come to a tab called Layout. Columns, and we have 2. But let's go a bit beyond here and select more columns. When we select 2 here, there are cases when they'll ask you to draw a line between. When you select the number of columns you want, you click this line between, and then you'll okay. There will come a line in between there. Someone is requesting for pardon on indenting. Okay. About the columns, this is how we shall do the columns. And putting a line. However, this line was not asked for. I just gave it as a by the way. Someone is requesting for pardon on indenting. We said we shall highlight this. Indenting, normally, if I wanted to indent this paragraph here, you would just highlight that paragraph. The indents are here. Increase indent, increase it, or reduce it. Or you would simply come to this dot, or you'd even, after clicking there, the indentation is here. Which kind of indenting do we want? Is it this one by default is none? Is it first line, hanging? You may be asked to give a first line indent. You select first line. If you have figures given to you, you put them and okay. So this is how the first line indent will appear. If you are given to select a hanging indent, this one will apply to a paragraph. This is how the hanging indent will appear. But this indent we are given, we are told, is applying to these ones, to the bulleted number. To give a space between the bullets, between the numbers and the content. We said right click. Some lower versions of Office 20, I'm not sure if it is there in 2010, but versions lower than 2010 may not have this. Adjust, you right click and select adjust list indents. Then I said, come here, reduce this for you to clearly see the effect. Keep that one at 0 because the interest was here, and give this 1 centimeter. Then click OK. This one will be put exactly at the 0 size, and the space will be put for you. That is for indenting. And we have done the columns. Convert the copied work. Yes, insert a picture saved as chicken in between the 2 columns and create a square text wrap. Now here, we were given a folder for support files. I think members, allow me, I was a good wiseacre here and I put a line between. The examiner was very specific. He didn't intend to put a line. There is something coming here. There is a photo coming there. So we shall come in our folder for support files. The folder for support files is here. We are told that the picture is called chicken. So we shall right-click chicken, look for, no, what is wrong with you? Look for copy. After copying, come to our work here. We said there are many ways of pasting. You can Control V, you can right click and paste. Now I have pressed Control V. So the photo goes where the cursor was. This is the photo. If I have to move it, wherever the cursor goes, it is where it will go. But remember, the examiner said I should put it in the middle of the columns and give it a square wrap text. So wrap text, we shall come here in the layout or even the format tab here. Wrap text, we are told to give it square, but in the middle of the columns. So I will bring and put it there. That is the square wrap text. Okay. This thing is warning me again. So that is how we shall work with the photo there. Add a citation on the word foreign exchange to read, earning from abroad through the sale of goods and services. Foreign, how could we look for that foreign exchange? Foreign exchange. To avoid wasting time, go to your computer. In the home tab, you look for this action find or use a shortcut Control F. When I click find, it gives me this on the left. So I say, please show me wherever there is a word foreign exchange. There is foreign exchange here, and I thought there would be another foreign exchange somewhere. It is here, but it has been split by this chicken here. Maybe it was not corrected. So let me come to this foreign exchange here. And we are told that on this very word there, we shall put a citation. Come to references. Citations are found in the tab called references. Insert a word, a citation. We shall put a placeholder there called earning from abroad through sale of goods and services. Through sale of goods and services. Manager. I think this one may not work there. Let's put it in the source because it's the source. Let's give it a title here. From the sale of goods and the services as the title. And okay, so it should come and appear here in your work, in front there. It is a citation, meaning that you read foreign exchange coming from that source. Are we always meant to make our effects in the copied work? The examiner, whoever set the exam, in most cases, they are specific. But where the examiner is not specific of where to put the changes, feel free to do what the changes where I want. But where necessary, keep the original work. I would advise, keep the original work original and make the changes in the copied work. But where you feel like the copied work is going to give you some hard time in completing your tasks, please feel free to do the tasks where you see that you can do it, especially if the examiner, whoever wrote the question that you are attempting, did not specify for you where to put those changes. We go to question 2 here. I think with Word, allow me to end there because time is also running faster. What is the meaning of citation? Citation, when we come to Word, it is referencing. Those of you, I don't know if any of you has read any site. This might be a report that we are presenting and someone read about foreign exchange. Citation means you're going to put for us a source, the title of the book. Where did you read that word from? Where did you read that phrase from? It is like when you say that according to Rich Dad and Poor Dad, he said on page so and so. So by virtue of quoting Rich Dad, Poor Dad, you are already citing that you got some information from that one. Now here, the context of this, it means that foreign exchange, the whole of maybe this word here or the whole of this first paragraph was got from a title from a book which says earning from the sale of goods and services. That is what we mean by citation. So allow me go to question 2 where we have spreadsheet. We are told to load a file saved as plasticshop.xlx and compute the following tasks. Normally, I advise you to look for what are you supposed to save your work as. We are supposed to save the work as plastics official. So we shall come to our folder here, the folder for support files. Look for plastic shop, open it. Now this one we are dealing with a support file. You are supposed to transfer this support file to your folder. Either way, you could transfer by first copy, then you come to your folder and paste. I think it will come. Someone had a comment here. Someone begs pardon on the drawing of that line. Hey. Okay, before we open that one, let's help our friend here drawing a line. We said drawing a line, we come to insert, the insert tab, come to shapes. There are many shapes here, but I'm interested in this line here. So you click the line. Allow me, because it is already there, let me draw it here now, because the other one is already drawn. We said to draw a straight one, hold the shift button on your keyboard, click, drag. The line will be there. Just in case they ask you for the size of the line, maybe 3 point, maybe color red, you come here in the format tab, you click the outline, you look for a color, you look for the weight, the points are here, maybe 3 point. You look for the dashes are there. The arrows are there. All those things are there. What you click is what will apply. Okay? I think that one we have corrected. Thank you. So we are told to create, to open. I gave you option number 1 that we could copy and paste. If I copy and paste, my work will be there. We could as well come in our folder here, open. After pasting there, you rename, open, come to file, select save as. Look for browse, such that we look for our folder. Our folder is on the desktop. So we shall look for the desktop here. You click desktop. My folder was Indenting Godfrey. I click there on Indenting, I open it. Now we are told which name were we given to put. The save was somewhere below here. Save it as plastics official. So we shall call it plastics official. Now, let me first close this and we check in our folder. So our folder Indenting Godfrey here, when we open it, it should be having my work plastics official. Now you open it and you are good to go. The question here, we are told that after loading, add 3 columnar names: gross sales, VAT, net sales. Columnar names: gross sales, VAT, and net sales. These are what we are asked to put. Let me expand this a little. So far, I have 2. This one I have not yet put. So far, 2 marks plus the saving, those are 3. Add a 1000 separator in all your values. So I will select, so far the values I have are here, but I may think because also this side I am going to put values. It would be good if I select the entire selection here, the entire part here, then come here, number. There is always a comma here. Or you would select this cluster where we have the number styles and we select number, then click use a 1000 separator. But we don't need the decimal places because we are not told to put any decimal place, and click OK. So the 1000 separator is going to be there, and all the things that we shall put here will have that 1000 separator. Add that one. These ones we have done. After the unit price, determine the values for gross sales, which is a product of quantity and unit price. When we are told of product means we are going to multiply something. And I think we all know it very well that if we are going to type a formula, the very first thing is equal signs. And in this case, the examiner is not strict of whether we should use a function or a formula. So we have the choice. We can just say that equals this cell here, which is C2, times, you press shift 8 to put the asterisk, times this one. That is my formula. And I get an answer, which is 2 million for the first. Now, after this, come to that dot of autofill and double click. The values will automatically come there. Now I want to sample using a function because there is a function called the product. I would use the product as a function. Product of this one, comma, and this one. Then close the bracket. If you can type the cell names, it's okay. But to avoid missing out on something, just click the cell itself. Then I'll enter and autofill. The choice is yours on what to use. Okay? We have another one here that says the VAT, which is computed as 18% of gross sales for each item, using a mixed cell reference and the VAT amount provided, compute the VAT. Remy, I don't know what the pardon you're asking for. I'm not sure, please. I am trying to understand the question. Please, Remy, repeat your question and be specific on the pardon you need. Computed as 18% of gross sales, and we are told to use a mixed cell reference. What is a mixed cell reference? Because there is also another question. To show the procedure of autofill. Okay. We said to autofill, let me repeat the product. Some members here are asking to repeat the product. We have done it using two ways. We use the formula and later we use the function. I said choose one of the two, either way. And we said that before calculating anything, the very first thing we do is to put equal signs in that cell where we want to put our values. The first alternative we said, we use the formula where we put C2 times D2, the quantity times the unit price as we are in as we are instructed. Then after that, we press enter. Now, after pressing enter, make it busy. At the bottom here, will give us a small black plus. That is the dot, that is the plus that we shall look for. You'd either hold the left button of your mouse, you drag like this, and the answers will come. But for me, I also did this. When you put your black plus there, you double click in the black plus, and the values will automatically come and fit there. Then I use the second alternative also. This is a formula, but there is also a function that we use for multiplying values. The function that we use for multiplying values is called the product. So after I first deleted this content here, let me first clear content. And we said equals product. I am just typing the function name because we know it. The product. This time we shall put this cell and the comma and this cell. Then close the bracket. This function will be very good for you if you're multiplying more than 2 cells. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cells at the same time. So we shall end. After that, come back, hold that black plus, double click. After double clicking, the values will automatically autofill. I think that one is done. Now, we came here, we are asked, we are given another task. We are given a task. The task that we are given here is telling us that we are to calculate VAT. And the VAT that we are to calculate is 18% of the gross sales. The 18% is given to us here, but the examiner was specific here. He told us to use a mixed cell reference. What is a mixed cell reference? I don't know, but I guess we have heard about what we call absolute cell reference. A mixed cell reference is that one which has two cells, one being made absolute and another one is not absolute. One cell is fixed with dollar signs and another one is not fixed with dollar signs. Let me first show you what would we do to calculate the VAT if it was not mixed cell reference. I know many of us, the answer would be equals this 18%. Sorry, I would type 18% times 2 million, which is this cell here, and end. So as we autofill, we shall have this. Good that I'm having even an error here. When you see this error of those hashes, it means the space, the column is being too small for content to fit. So what you do, come on top here, try to expand a little, hold there and expand a little, the content will fit. Now, this one is just using the cell value. But commonly we say that when we are calculating such items, avoid using cell values, but use the cell name. Because if tomorrow the policy changes and it tells you that the VAT is no more 18%, it is now 15%, it means you'll have to come and change your formula here from 18 to 15. Yet me who used a cell name, I'll not do that. Allow me to remove this. I am going to calculate the VAT using the cell name here. Equals this 18% times, because we are told it is a product, times this one. 18%. Yes, the cell name. We are using a cell name now. Because in the mixed cell reference, we are saying don't use cell content, don't use 18%. Use the cell that contains 18%. Okay? So we shall do that. But on autofilling, let us try to autofill and see. Do we see what we have? We're having zeros throughout. Where is the problem? I want to draw your attention to the other one. This one, the first one is multiplying this one with this. Let us see. Let me sample with this one. Where I want to see the formula. Do you see what it is multiplying? This multiplying E5 with E19, which E19 is empty. Okay? Let us sample another. This one. 49. This one, E8 by E22. You see E22 is empty. So these cells are all relative. This formula is a relative formula, meaning that as you autofill, each of these cell names will go on changing the address according to the next cell. So the examiner was specific and told us to use a mixed cell reference. However, he or she did not tell us which value to fix. But for us, I think we know that all these ones are supposed to be multiplied by 18%. And because they're all supposed to be multiplied by 18%, this is where we shall have this 18 times this, 18 times n, 18 times another. So here, what are we supposed to do? Just a matter of coming to look for this cell and we give it dollar signs. You click in that cell in the middle, go to your keyboard, look for F4, a function key called F4. When you click it, it is going to put for you the dollar signs there. If I press it again, the dollar signs will go out. If I press it, the dollar signs will come. The dollar signs are fixing a column and a row. That means dollar E, $16. This part is fixed, which is absolute, and this part is not fixed, which is relative, which makes the whole of this a mixed formula. Previously, before putting the dollar signs, it was a relative formula. If we put dollar signs here also, it will completely be an absolute formula. So this is our mixed formula, and we end. So now let us autofill and see. Boom. The values are coming. Let us sample and see what are we multiplying. This one is multiplying with this one still. Let us see if this one will go back down. No, it is still fixed. This one is multiplying this. Let us see this one. This one is still multiplying this, which we were supposed to be doing. Okay, let's go to another one. The net sales is a tax inclusive of gross sales. Determine the net sales from each item. So we shall tax inclusive of gross sales. Plainly, I would understand it as tax plus the gross sales. So we shall come here and say equals the tax plus gross sales. Then we shall end. Remember, I told you that when you see these values here like this, it means that the cell is too small to hold the content. So we shall hold up there and drag it a little for it to fit. After that, we shall have this dot and the autofill. So our values are all there. Net sales is calculated. Create a pie chart to show products whose quantity in stock is 1,000 units in the store. Is 1,000 units in store. We have any item here that is 1,000? Ideally, I think no. To my understanding, there are no results, there are no things. But I think, if I may think for the examiner, I think it was having those values that are above 1,000 and above. Because here we have no 1,000 net and we can't have an empty pie chart. But we can have those values that are above 1,000. How shall we tell this one to leave for us only above 1,000? Please, Ronald, will you specify the pattern that you need? Here, we are going to come and tell this Excel to filter. And what is it going to filter? We're going to tell it to filter. When you come here, sort and filter, there is something that says filter. It is going to put for you these arrows on all the headings. So now for us in the content is where we want. You're going to see that here the values are arranged in ascending order. You will remove this tick here. We may select all of them and remove the tick on the values that are less than 1,000. Okay? I think we begin from that. 15,000. All the values that are less than that, we remove a tick and okay. So now, our pie chart should include these values alone. Pardon on the net sales. We said the net sales was just, and this one, the gross inclusive of, we said the gross equals the gross inclusive of tax. So we shall add this cell plus this cell. Remember we said, don't use cell names, but rather don't use cell content. Don't add 2 million plus 360, but rather use the 2 million, the E2 plus F2 and enter. I gave you a scenario that you never know, the tax here may change to 15%. Let's try to change 15%. The 18. You be observant here. Do you see that all values are changing here because of just one change? Had we put 18% here in this tax, you would realize that you had to come here again and remove the 18. So let's keep our 18 there and keep our values. Now, we are told to come here, filter, and get these things here. We said we remove the tick on these ones. And okay. So now we are going to create our pie chart. Our pie chart, we are going to select what are we told to use. What's the quantity in stock? So we are going to use the quantity in stock. The quantity in stock plus the item. So select the item name and this one. Come to insert, select a pie chart. Let me take this one. So our items are there. Now the pie chart has come here and it has placed itself in a very good position. That gives me wonderful work. I don't know if it is also wonderful for you anyway, but I have my reasons why it is wonderful. I'll leave it there for now. The legends are there, but next time you might be asked to show the data labels. If you're asked to show the data labels, they are not asked for now. But if you have to put the labels here, you simply click the chart, come to design. I think it is in chart, what? Chart elements. Chart elements, the title is already there, the quantity, the data labels, where should you put them? Inside, where? The choice is yours. You come and select where would you wish those labels to appear. And where you click is where the figures will come and be applied. Now, at that, save, insert a foot of your name in sheet 2 of your workbook. Sheet 2 of my workbook. So here I have sheet 1. I'll come to sheet 2. Come to insert. Select the header, footer. Now this is a header. The footer is down here. Add the footer. I'll put my name, Binzika Godfrey. And boom, my footer will be there. Come back here, select the normal. We come to sheet 1. That is my work. Okay. Save your work, it is done. But we are supposed to print this work. Members, if I show you, before you print, come to Control P, select Print Preview. You see how my work is going to appear. My pie chart is being cut and split. You see my chart is coming to 2 pages. Please and please always make sure. I don't know if you're able to see the dotted line. Now, again, this pie chart is covering my work. It is good. Drag the pie chart, hold it there, drag it, put it somewhere here, such that it doesn't cover anything. And if you're able to see this dotted line here, this dotted line means that there is work. The page will end here. So everything that goes beyond that, let me try to be extravagant a little here, as some of us would be. The dotted line has now come here. So when we come to print, the net sales is not here. The net sales is going to come on its own page. So make sure that before you go to print, come and reduce your rows and columns. Sorry, reduce your columns. If you realize that you are reducing and the things cannot fit because you don't have to cover the content, come in page layout, change the orientation to landscape, such that the dotted line will be moved further. If you do it and the things don't work out, come to print. Down here where there is scaling, click the scaling at the bottom here and tell it that please feed all the columns on one page. Okay? Feed all the columns on one page and then print. Then final, as we leave spreadsheet, someone has a comment here. Selecting the chart. Okay. We are going to repeat the chart very fast. But before I forget, there is something here which is important, that some of us send work and maybe the work may disappear on a CD, maybe it is a shortcut, maybe, and the examiner will not see your work. It would be very good that you print for us the formula view. How will you select the formula view? How will you display this view here? Come, go to your keyboard. There is a button called the tilde key. On your keyboard, a button below the escape, as you're still in this view. When you press Control and that button called the tilde, below the escape in front of number 1 in that row, when you press it, it's going to show you the formulas that you have. So come now and reduce this. These are the formulas that we have put. Please feel free to print this view also and send it, attach it to your work. Send it for marking, just in case you never know. So you also print and send that. Now, how do we select the chart? We said the chart is asking us to have these names plus the quantity. Select the names, the quantity, just select these items here. Now come to insert, look for a chart of your choice. You would use that one. For me, I chose this one. And my data is already there. After that, come and drag and put it in a position where it is not covering any content. Now come and print. When I Control P, you'll see here I have one page. My work looks very nice on only one page. Putting and showing formulas I have used. We said on your keyboard, there is something, there is a button in front of letter 1. Look at that row up there where there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now in front of it, there is a button. It is below the escape key, above the tab. Press Control and that button. It will give you a view that shows you the formulas that you have been using, that you have entered there. When you press it again, it will give us back this one. Dear colleagues, allow me to close spreadsheet there. And we end it there. We'll go for the next application here. The next application is a presentation. The Electoral Committee, Quad Seed School intends to roll out voter education to the new students. You have been contacted to create 5-slide presentation saved as elections. Presentation will include the following ideas. So what are we going to do? This one has no support file. Come, start, look for PowerPoint. I just search for it and enter. Because I believe we all know how to how to search for PowerPoint. This is my presentation. I need a blank presentation. Include the topic, voter education. Include the qualities of a good leader, reasons for participating in elections, why people do not vote. The topic on slide 1 is voter education. Voter education. They are not asking me who presented, but I want to advise you presented by, put your name here. Put your name there for identification of your work. Voter education, we are asked to put, include the qualities of a good leader. The title is qualities of a good leader, should be exemplary. Responsible, respectful. Then have a new slide where we have to include reasons for participating in elections. Reasons for participating in elections: to get new leaders, to change offices, to promote democracy, maybe. Then another slide we are asked to have is to include why people do not vote. Why people don't vote. Illiteracy, failure to reach polling stations, then lack of democracy, imprisonment, any of them. What else? Include the closing remarks in the last slide. We could say closing remarks. I advise you, dear members of my community, to please go and vote. Am I allowed to use different forms of slides? You can be allowed, but I told you we are beating time. You will use those different forms of slides, and me who used these plain ones, we shall get the same marks, and you're taking a lot of more time of your procedures time. Okay. Add your name. So far, what I have done, I have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. According to what the examiner wants me to do, I have my 10 marks here. You see them. Now, why would you take your time there in getting what? In getting the other forms of slides, which they have not asked you to use. So far, 10 there. Even if I ended there, I now have scored 10, but it should not end there. Add your name in the subtitle section as the topic presenter. That one we have put, so they are 11 marks. Include the clip art of your choice in any slide that is related to the content. Clip art of your choice in any slide. Now, many of the office applications we have don't have clip art. Because when you come to PowerPoint here, we may not see clip art here, but rather we shall have photos and pictures. So in case you don't see clip art there, look for pictures in case you had them. But this time around, the examiner is not even directing us to go to use the support files. So what shall we do? Allow me to direct you where can you get the clip art in your computer. Unfortunately, some of you, when you go for these clip arts there, you'll delete some program files. But anyways, you're told to use clip art. We are looking for clip art. Come to your computer. This icon of my computer. Look for local disk C. Come to program files. There is Microsoft Office. You'll see something called clip art there. There is this pub car. The images are here. So the examiner told you to use clip art in any of the slides. So now for me, I'll select this one, which is relevant, by the way. This one to me is relevant here. I copy and paste and put it there. Maybe resize a little. That is my clip art. They told me on one slide. If you are told one slide, please maintain one slide. Don't copy very many slides. Okay? Of your choice in any slide that is related to the content. I have finished, sir. Add your name as a header in your work. Add different background color for each slide. Add your name as a header. So we shall come to insert header and footer. Now the headers, this time where we have come, will not appear on top of this, but we shall come to notes and handouts where we shall have a header, your name, which name was Binzika Godfrey. And that's all we are told to put. So we shall say apply to all. You will not see your header here, but you shall see it later in the handout. Then we are told to change the color for every slide. Now, the background color, we shall select a solid fill background, solid fill, select a color here. I put it there. Come to this one, select a color here. I select that one. Come to this, select this color. Come to the 5th slide, select another color. Come to the last slide, select another color. Whether these colors are beautiful or not, they are beautiful for me. These are the colors of my choice because I was told to put and change colors. I know some of us would even continue to come here. to select a background style. It is okay. But you never know, some of these background styles may change the colors that you have put. You see in the middle, it is purely white. When I select this one, some of the colors may change. But depending on the layout that you have used, so long as you see that the content will not change, okay? Include the clip art, that one is done. Print all your work on one page. Now, when you come to print this one, we shall come here, select. You see how fast the presentation is. You don't do what you're not asked to do. You do what you're asked to do, and not even more than 5 minutes, my work is done. So we shall come here when we are coming to print. Full page slide, you click that part. When you're in preview, you click that part, then you select a handout. Let's select 6 slides. These are the 6 slides, and you'll realize that my header is here, being Zika Godfrey. My header name is there. So after that, you will select your printer there that your school has set, and you will click print. So you'll get your work very fast. I'm not sure if we have saved, so my work should come to the desktop in Zika Godfrey. Don't forget to put your personal number, that 5 something, 502529 something there. Put it, plus the random number that they will give you that day for your name. So that one is done also. Allow me to go for this desktop publication. The program of your choice. Use it to create the following layout. The layout here, we said we shall select publisher. Look for publisher because we are told the desktop publication and we are commonly using publisher. So let's select according to this question here. Save the publication as marketing. The paper size should be A4. Orientation to landscape. Panels 1 to 3 having dimensions of this one, and that one. Procedures on printing PowerPoint. We said on printing PowerPoint, unfortunately I have closed, but I think I can use this one. Procedures for printing PowerPoint. We said you Control P, come to this part where you see the full page slides. You click there, select the number of slides. The other side we had 5, so you click 6, and it will give you this one. Then after you click print. Okay. We are designing a publication now. The publication, we are told it should be A4 landscape. Let's select this one, which is blank. We come to page design to first select, to set up the pages. Just as we know that always you're supposed to first set the design. Sorry, the size of the page, then you put your design. Come to size. We are told F4 landscape. Our size is even here. F4 in landscape. Okay. Then the question told us here to put 3 pens, 1, 2, and 3. Each of these pens having 18 centimeters height and 8 centimeters of width. So we shall come here, come to insert. You may use a shape or a text box. But for me, I come to use a text box. Click text box, draw text box. But we are told it should have some dimensions. Come to the format tab here. We are told the height should be 18.3. And this, was it 18 really? I don't think so. 18.3 centimeters. Ah, the units are in inches here. That's why it is being too long. So we shall still come here in File, Options, Advanced. The display is here showing it's in inches. No, we want in centimeters. Then OK. So we shall click this one again and say it is 18.3 centimeters in height by 8 centimeters in width. So we shall find here our thing should be there. Now I am just going to duplicate this one. You may either Control C and you may select it, Control C, then V to paste. This text box should be here. Use the arrow key to move it, or you can use this. You can click and hold it to drag it. Then I may still paste the other one that I copied, drag, and bring it this way. So this is one, another one is there, and another one is there. So let's just hold it to move it closer here. Our next question says, allow a distance of 2 centimeters between each panel. Copy and paste the data. Distance of 2 centimeters in each panel. So let us select these ones. Select each. This one. This one. I am holding the Control button. Okay. Now in the Format tab here, we realize that each of them is that size. Come to Align here. It's supposed to be somewhere here. Let's distribute them equally. So they are distributing themselves equally. I can't see the unit for dimensions here. But let's meanwhile continue with this. We are told copy and paste the data in a file saved as brochure as follows. Text in paragraph 1. Allow the text to spill into panel 2. Change the font type Arial narrow. So we shall copy. We are told the file is called brochure from the support files. Brochure is here. So open brochure. I am going to select this content here. Control C. Then we shall come and put it in this pane 1 as we are told. But these dots are showing us that the content is too much. But there, the examiner was very strict and he knew that it would spill over. He said it should spill to another column. So you click this dot here. It is asking you, it is like asking you where do you want it to flow, to spill. You see this icon. It should flow there. Because we are told it should spill. Spill to panel 2. So my content is spilling to panel 2. And change the font type to Arial narrow. Justify size 14. Come here, Control A. Come to the font style here, change to Arial narrow. Alignment is justified. The size easy. 14. And there we are. Now, what next? Type the text, bless your marketing agency, PO Box 21, Kabale, center text both vertically and horizontally in panel 3. Bless your marketing agency, we are putting it here. Marketing agency, PO Box 21. 21 where? Kabale. And we are told to align it. So we shall select Control A, come to this text box tools, format, the alignment of centering vertically and horizontally is here. So you click it such that the things are there. Add the foot of your name. Now, unless otherwise, if you are to do by the question, we are done. Because anything that you may add, the examiner may not award a mark. So we are told to put a footer, insert a foot of your name. Be in Zika Godfrey. So my name is here. And that work is done. Save it. Add a footer. We are not told of what to save, but I think we should use our name in our folder on the desktop called Be in Zika. Call it Be in Zika Godfrey. That question is done. So we shall finally come to attempt this last one. Create a database saved as bio data. Include this database to create a table, biodata table 1. So this one is also not given anywhere. We shall come to database is Microsoft Access. Database is Microsoft Access. So unlike the other applications, database will ask us to save it first. So we are going to create a blank database. Where are we going to save it? This dialog box is coming to ask us where are we going to save our work. So we shall first give it a name. Which name were we told to give it? A database saved as biodata 2023. So we shall give it a name, biodata 2023. Where are we going to save? Use this folder here to locate for the folder on the desktop, biodata 2023, and say okay. Then we shall create. So our table is there and it is created. Our database is created. So we are told here that using a table provided, import the records from the file saved as raw data 2023. A file saved as raw data 2023. That file is in the support files. I think it is this one. I have biodata. When we open it, it has these ones: student ID, student name, and the combination and the house home district. So the student ID, let's first close it before going to import. Now in a database, we shall come here to external data. And we are going to say import and link. Our data is in Excel. So you select the Excel and say, we want to import the file source data into a new table in the current database. But first browse. Where are we finding it? It is on the desktop in a folder which I called S6. I think I called it, was it this one? No. S6, this folder here, biodata, and open. Then, okay. Now it is asking me this. This is the import wizard. The first row contains column headings, which is okay. So we shall next. The field name is that one. Do you want to duplicate? It's okay. Okay, choose my own primary key, or you can even let the computer choose for you primary key. The choice can be yours. Then next, which sheet are you importing? It is sheet 1, and then finish. Now we shall close this dialog box. So our data is already here given as sheet 1, but which we are supposed to rename and call biodata. So we shall open this one. That is the data that we already have in the database, which was in the Excel. We have done the importation now. And using the table provided, import the records, assign appropriate data types and the primary key. Now let's look at this data here. I think this data type is auto number, which is okay. The student ID can also be auto number or number. This is text. This can be number. This can be text. This can be text also. So we shall come to home, select design view. We are having a new field here. Student ID should be our primary key. Let us delete this field here. Delete and say yes. Student ID is number, student name is short text, age is number, combination text, text. So our fields are already set. Let's save the changes. We'll come back to designing. That one is also done. Very fast. Assign appropriate data types. Okay, format the field student ID to return. For example, AEB001 for each record in the table. That means it must be auto number. How are we going to set this to be auto number? We shall come in design view of the table. So student ID should have a data type here, not number, but auto number. Once you enter data, you can't change the data type only to any field auto number. Now the computer has failed us, has refused us from changing the data type, but only as a factor of showing you how it is done. Let me say that we are having student ID again here, and we shall select it as auto number. I just want to show you how shall we format it. We shall come here in format and put the AE in quotes. Then put the 3 zeros to represent the 3 place values, as the examiner told us. These are 3 place values here. It is AEB, so the AEB should be in quotes. AEB should be in quotes. Then save the changes. And when we come to the datasheet view, these values should come like this. 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the rest. Using records in your table, create a query to return a list of students that have chemistry in their combination and they're above 17 years of age. Save the query as a chemistry class. So we shall come here. Chemistry above 18. Let's close this table. create a query design. We put that table there and close. Then we shall have these items brought here. Now in the age, we are told they should be more than 17 years. So we shall put greater than 17. Now in the combination here, if we are to see these things here, if we open, look at the combinations. C is chemistry, which is in the middle. So the C that is in the middle here, we expect to have C in the middle. That is for the query. So we are going to come here in the query. We shall put star C star to represent a C which is running in the middle. Let us come to query design here and this run and see. Yes, we are having all those who are above 17 and have a combination which has chemistry. Now we shall save this one as chemistry. And okay. Then come to, I think it is, using all records, create a report to show students who come from Buko, save the report as Buko district. Now the report, we are going to look for those from Buko. Ideally, I will advise first to create a query for those guys coming from Buko. So let's first create a query here. We'll create a query, drag and drop these items here. The districts here, we have Buku. Let us run and see. Yes. These are the people from Buku. We save it. Buku. Enter is invalid for this field. Oh, no. Let's save as Buku and we close. Now to create that report, we are going to click this Buku report, Buku query, come to create and select a report here. It will create for us that report immediately, right away. So what we shall have to do here now, just come here to view design view, reduce the sizes of these items here to make sure that it fits on one page. Reduce the size from the header area here. Then we shall click home and come to the report view. So our report is already there. And we shall save as Buko district. Then, okay, and boom, our question paper is done. Print all your work. So what will be rest of you is to print the work. Dear members, I want to thank you for being part of the session. Unless there are questions, it's been some long session, 2 hours. We are done with the corrections that we had said to do today. I want to welcome and interact some questions for now before we call it a day.
Sir.
Hello?
Hello, sir.
Yes.
I would like to know the definition of a query.
A query is a database object that returns items from a database that meet a certain criteria. a database object that returns records that meet a certain criteria. So I think with that, dear members, allow me to thank you once again for being part of this show this afternoon. Thank you for joining in. I think Mr. Kaziwa is still a little busy. Let's close the session from here for now. I saw Mr. Njala on the call. Mr. Njala, you're welcome, sir. Stop sharing. Allow me, if there are no more questions, allow me to end the call here now, such that we may go and join some other programs. We meet next time. I wish you all a very nice evening.
Okay, thank you, sir.